Talk it out. Talk it through. When a relationship is going through a difficult time, when a relationship is broken, when you want to repair a relationship. Hello, y'all. I'm Dianna, Brianne. I don't give advice, suggestions, information, recommendations. I do share with you my perspective on different topics. I hope you like, share, subscribe to all 5 channels. The names of the channels are pinned to the top of the comments section or description box below. So when a relationship is going through a rough spell, a rough patch, a challenging time, a disagreement, maybe hurt feelings, or even more, if you want to save the relationship, it's important at some point to talk it through, to discuss what went on, what happened, and try to resolve whatever the issue was. No matter whose fault it was, I think often when we can talk it out and set aside emotions to the best of our ability, often we can fix a relationship. And often we will discover things about the relationship that maybe needed fixed before whatever that event that took place happened. Blame usually doesn't do a whole lot of good. It puts people on the defensive. And so if you can avoid blaming someone, addressing issues, addressing causes, the person who did, if it's both people that were, made the mistake, then both people need to acknowledge their part that they played in it. If it's one person that did something, then they at some point need to bring that to the table, not justify it. They can explain it, but not justify it. And hopefully apologize sincerely. And yet it all starts with talking things through if you want to save and salvage a relationship. Some people let things, as Grandma would say, sweep it under the rug, but eventually that rug begins to bulge up, and that's usually when something comes about that causes a disruption in the relationship that ends up needing to be talked about. Some people never talk about stuff and they go on with the relationship, but it always lingers there with them until they talk about it. Other times people just end the relationship. Other people talk about it to the degree that it needs to be talked about. Sometimes people, go and get professional assistance to talk about it. Some people, it's not comfortable to talk with them about it. Some people won't talk about it. Sometimes we have to let go of some relationships or limit some relationships. Some people will sit down and, talk about it, and they'll take responsibility for their part that they played. Other people, will take responsibility for their part, and some people won't take any kind of responsibility. So you get all different kinds of responses when you talk. So you got to be aware that it may not always be positive, and yet without talking about things at some point, whether it's with professionals helping that person, the right professionals, because there's a lot of wrong professionals in my opinion out there too. So you need the right kind of person to kind of be there as a go-between. Or if you decide to do it yourself, if it's a situation where you can both comfortably talk about it, that's good too. I've had situations where things needed to be talked about, and once we got talking about it, as long as everybody acknowledged their part that they played in the situation, usually things cleared up pretty good. And I had one relationship that there was a kind of a misunderstanding over politics, and I wasn't even discussing politics with her, and she'd unfriended me, but about a year and a half later she refriended me. She called me up and explained what happened. She thought maybe I had meant something, because we're very different politically. And I said, no. And I said, that's okay. You can be totally different than me, and I can be totally different than you. And we don't even have to talk politics, and we shouldn't probably talk politics, but we have other things so much in common that we can talk about. And so we let the good things in our relationship bond us together, and things like politics, we just don't discuss it with each other. And we're aware that we're totally polar opposites. And that's fine. That's fine. And so the thing is when you can talk about it, often that is the beginning of resolution, and often that is the beginning of healing a relationship that you want to be healed. From my house to yours, I hope you like, share, subscribe, and may Heavenly Father bless you, and I hope to talk to you soon again. Bye-bye.